Okay, today we're going to be talking about data types. This is a type of data that you can use within your computer programs. You're already familiar with different types of cars. For example, that's a hatch. That one's a station wagon. This one's a sedan, a coupe, and a people mover. So we can have different types of cars. Similarly, we can have different types of data inside computers. Probably the easiest one, or the simplest one, are numbers. For example, 1, or 3, or 724, or -8. These are all whole numbers, and we call those integers. There are other types of numbers though. For example, we could have 0.5, or 3.141, or -2.768. These numbers have a decimal point. We call those ones real, or sometimes we call them floating point. Or even floats. Sometimes we need to do with letters, for example C, or A, or capital A, or $sign, or exclamation mark. These are called characters. However, you're programming in Python, and Python doesn't explicitly use these. What it does is letters joined together, or a string of characters, and we call these strings. An example of a string, as you've already used, is hello world. Notice we put it inside these inverted commas. We could have also written something like hello world and put them inside single quotes. We can also have something like hello, comma, world, exclamation mark. So you can have symbols inside your strings as well. Another data type is called Boolean. Boolean uses values like true, or false, or yes, or no, or 0, or 1. So it's a sort of on-off, yes, no, true, false data type. Now that's just a brief introduction to data types in Python. If you want to know more, you can go to python.org on the internet. On the left-hand side you'll find there's a link to documentation, and there's a language reference. Under that language reference you can find a link called Values and Types, and you can read about every single data type that's in the Python language. And you'll find in there some of the ones we've already been looking at. For example, there's integers there, and there's booleans, and you'll find all the rest. There's real, and sequences like strings, and all sorts of other things like tuples and lists and byte arrays and sets and a whole lot of other stuff. So that was types in Python.